And welcome back in our garden. Hey, we're right behind the Channel 3 office here, and we actually garden right on top of a parking lot here. And I want to show you a little bit what's going on. But first off, the reason we're kind of changing seasons, well, daffodils are just coming in, and they basically tell us when the soil's warming up enough to kind of change over from our different types of Chinese cabbages, our regular cabbages, our cauliflower, and of course, our broccoli. All these came out of the garden, folks, so you ought to be getting ready because a lot of this is going to start bolting with our warmer soil. What does that mean? It's going to go to seed and it's not going to taste very good. So you want to go ahead and start thinking about harvesting that stuff. Now, what should you be going ahead and planting? Lots of different types of tomatoes. We want short season type varieties. Your Pearsons, Celebrities, Early Girls all work out real good. Eggplants need to go in right now. And of course, your different types of peppers. These peppers will last for years to come. So if you put them in, we've got a couple out here in our garden that have actually lasted for the last 5 years. We've protected them from frost a little bit, and we used a little bit of our close type situation. You can see it right back there. Little greenhouse made out of some PVC, works out great. Some 4 mil plastic right on top of it. And of course, it goes ahead and extends our seasons and allows us to grow a lot of our different types of vegetables a little bit longer out here, especially with the fact we've got short seasons. Now, speaking of short seasons, we want to go ahead and start planting some other types of plants. And these are going to be in from transplants or seed. And let's come on down here, Bobby. Bobby's our illustrious cameraman, and he does a great, there he is. And Swiss Chard's one you want to think about right now. This works out great because what it does, it gives you a nice leafy vegetable during the summertime. We've got a lot of it growing out here, and you can see it right back here. You can see how well it's doing. It does it in all different types of colors, and it works well as a foil in the garden, which means, well, it adds a little bit of color and texture to the garden. Now, of course, you want to try to think about some of your different types of cucumbers. Your Armenians work out real well, but if you want to get growing on cucumbers, get them in by seed right now. Your different types of gourds, of course, your sweet corns can go in. Pumpkins, if you like those different types of things, and squash. Squash works out fantastic out here in the desert Southwest. We plant a lot of these by seed. One thing you've got to keep in mind when you're planting a lot of this stuff, you've got to work a lot of compost in the soil. And this is very, very critical. And when you're doing it, make sure you're working approximately 6 inches of compost 12 inches into the soil. When you're growing something like squash or watermelon, you may want to dig yourself a fairly large hole, mix a little bit of manure along with the compost, make yourself a little bit of mound. That'll give them a nice, nice start to a lot of the fertilizing needs you're going to need later on to produce those nice, large, different types of fruit. Now, here's another one you want to try. It's cowpeas. It works out fantastic out here in the desert Southwest, especially with the warmer weather, and, of course, your different types of okra. Now, if you think about transplants, you can go ahead and start thinking about those right now. Now, if you're putting them in, keep in mind that we could get one more frost test, and this is really crucial. If we do get one more frost test, you're going to have to go ahead and protect these things, but unlikely that you're going to get anything like this, so don't worry too much about it, Tess. Of course, there's a lot going on in the garden, and you know, I don't know how your garden's doing right now, but what have you been doing with that raised bed? I hate to even ask right now, but let's hear it. Tess?
A dirt holder.
I knew it. So there you go. There's a lot of things you can go ahead and put in right now.
I've had tons of frost. It killed everything, you know?
Oh, really? Oh, come on. Did you really have a lot of frost out there?
I'm being sarcastic on that part.
Okay.
It's my brown thumbs that are messing it up.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I want you to try to go out and just pick up a couple of tomatoes.
Okay.
Put them in the ground right now and just see how you do. I mean, you want to buy them as large as possible. Similar to this one right back here. Go ahead and purchase them as large as possible. Just see how you do and just stick them in this weekend, and I'll bet you dollars to donuts, Tess is going to grow some tomatoes.
Even my brown thumbs can do it, huh?
You betcha. There you
All
go.
right. I will take up your challenge. Thank you very much, Dave. We'll see you in a little bit. He'll be taking calls in just a little bit.